I had so much fun doing this. The Straw Hat Crew as Yu-Gi-Oh cards pre-timeskip. At any point, if you would change anything on the cards, you comment. You comment. Whenever you have a thought, I would change that, you comment immediately. You got it? And the first card is, drum roll please, Usop. So Usop's attribute would be Earth. I think we can all agree to that. His level would be 2, because pre-timeskip he wasn't really that strong, was he? Of course, the monster type is Warrior, and he has an effect. So this card can attack the life points of the opponent directly. And I think that makes sense because Usop was a sniper, so he could do damage left and right from a safe distance, what he loved. So his attack would be 300 and his defense would be 1200. So why is his defense so high? I think that he was pretty good at running away and keeping himself in safe spaces whenever Luffy, Sanji and Zoro were fighting. Yeah, I think this is kind of accurate for Usop pre-timeskip. Tony Chopper. Tony Chopper's attribute is Earth as well, and he is level 3. And he's Fiend as a monster type, and he has an effect. During each of your standby phases, if this card is face up on the field, you gain 500 life points. I think it is obvious that his effect had to do something with life points, because he's a doctor, right? His attack is 500 and his defense is 1900. And I think that kind of makes sense. So the strategy would be to put him in defense position and somehow get him to be face up. And then his defense would be good and you would gain life points. So that was the thought. But his effect had to do something with life points. Sanji. So Sanji's attribute is Earth, level 4. He's a warrior and he doesn't have an effect. And when you look at the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the monsters that do not have effects, they have a little description on them. And so does Sanji. A chivalrous chef of the seas who seeks the legendary all blue. With a fiery kick and a heart for the ladies, he cooks gourmet meals even in the heat of battle. I think this is so accurate for Sanji, and a cute little description of what he stands for. So his attack is 1800 and his defense is 1400. I think I nailed the attack and defense of Sanji, especially when you compare him to Zoro and Luffy, which will still come in the future. Remember, let me know what you think. Whenever you have a little like, I would change this, you go to the comments, you type it in. Roronoa Zoro. So first, I wanted to do his attribute Fire. Then I wanted to change it to Earth. But finally, I agree with myself that he should be Wind, because whenever someone is attacking and he wants to play a defense, he swings his swords, sometimes without touching the thing that's attacking him, and just only the wind off his swords will stop the attacks. So that was my reasoning. But for the most part, it's because Zoro is green and the symbol is green as well for the wind, so what do you want me to do? He's a warrior and he has an effect as well. So his effect is, if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect while equipped with an equip spell, you can send one equipped spell equipped to this card to the graveyard instead. I think that's a nice thing because sometimes Zoro loses his swords in a battle, but he doesn't die. So that was kind of my logic. So his attack is 1900, so slightly stronger than Sanji. And you can leave a comment about Sanji is stronger than Zoro, but there is no way. Even pre-timeskip, Zoro was stronger than Sanji, and I think it will always be that way. His defense is 1100. I think it's a cool card. Nico Robin. Her attribute, don't ask me why, but I felt like it should be divine. It kind of fitted. I don't know. Level 4. She's a warrior, and she has an effect. Once per duel, you can target one face-down trap card your opponent controls. Look at it, then return it to its original position. So my thought process was that she can do her fleur thing and just get an eye under the card and look at the card. That's the logic. Her attack is 1750 and defense is 800. So why I decided to make her defense lower than her attack is that she is good at attacking, but once she's caught, then she can't really help herself and she relies on other people to help her. And also Nico Robin just seems like a monster that would have a 50 in the number of her attacks. So first I was like 1,700, but then I was like, that doesn't seem right, so I added 50. For reasons. Nami. Her attribute is wind because of her stick, the weather stick, you know? And she used to have that rope with knots in it, and she would pull on the ropes and stuff would happen. Remember? But I don't remember what her stick is called, the weather stick. In German, I watched some part of One Piece in German. So in German, it is Klimatokstock. So yeah, that's why she's wind. She's level 3 because obviously she's not as strong as Sanji and Zoro, and she has an effect. Once per turn, you can look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and if it's a spell card, add it to your hand. So she's a thief, right? So she steals stuff. And that was the logic behind it. She would steal stuff from other people to survive, and that is her effect. She steals other cards from your opponent. And you can do it once per turn. I thought that was a neat little effect. Her attack is 1,200. Now that I think of it, her attack might be lower. Compared to Zoro and Sanji, her attack might be lower actually. I don't know, let me know what you think. Monkey D. Luffy. And note also that his title is golden. He's Earth as an attribute, obviously. Level 4. I decided to not give Luffy an effect that makes him super strong. He's a warrior. And every card that doesn't have an effect has a cute little description. A rubbery troublemaker with a bottomless stomach and a knack for chaos. With a goofy grin and wild dreams, he'll stop at nothing, no matter how reckless, to become the Pirate King. Attack 2000, defense 0. When I wrote defense 0, I thought of the scene when he's captured in Buggy's cave. He was just so naive. Sometimes he just can't help himself. He just falls into every trap because he's so quick to act. And that's why I gave him defense 0, but on the other hand, make him very strong. And there's not a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards, from monsters that are level 4 and have an attack from 2000 but don't have a weak point. So I think this is accurate. Franky. So Franky is Earth as an attribute. Level 5. He's a warrior and a machine, and I don't think that there's an actual Yu-Gi-Oh card that has both of these types. But anyway, who cares? His effect is, once per turn, you can target one machine monster you control. That monster gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. I think for obvious reasons, he should have something to do with machine monster type stuff. So his attack is 1,900 and defense is 2,300. I also think that that's really accurate. I really like the picture that I've created for this one. It kind of looks like Water 7. At first, I thought about making his attribute water because he's blue and because of Water 7 and everything, but then he's more like a handyman. You know, he repairs stuff, so that's why Earth. I don't know. The next one is Brook. So as an attribute, he's dark. Level 5 as well, just like Franky. He's Fiend, and he has an effect. If this card is destroyed by battle or by spell effect, shuffle it into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. For obvious reasons, this card cannot be destroyed. I mean, his Devil Fruit, he can't die, so that was the obvious effect to give. And I don't think there's any other effect that makes sense for Brook. His attack is 2,100 and his defense is 100. But because this card can't be destroyed, his defense is like infinite. And the last one, Going Merry, the last crew member that has passed away sadly. Going Merry obviously is water attribute. Level 4. It's a machine and it has an effect. If Usop is face up on the field, this card gains 1,000 defense. If Franky is face up on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Attack 0, defense 2000. Attack 0 because it never actually damaged any opponents, but it got them out of trouble a lot of time. And also note that the title is golden as well, just with Luffy, because, I mean, Going Merry is just legendary. Just legendary. So that was the last card. Let me know if you liked it. And if you liked it, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. I have a feeling that I will do the crew as well after Timeskip, with Jinbei included and all of that. Maybe I do the Whitebeard pirates, maybe I do the Roger pirates, maybe I do some other pirates, or the Marines as well. The 3 admirals, the vice admiral, and stuff like that.